I'm right here in the 27th Avenue in Bethany Home and the beer and wine liquor store, and it's one guy with a gun outside. I don't know what intention, but he got in the gun and go inside the store.
He has a gun and he went inside the beer and liquor store?
Yes, and he got the gun.
An officer responded to the location and contacted the 911 caller. They learned that Omar was walking around while displaying the handgun and making statements about scaring people. They began searching the area and quickly located him walking on a nearby residential street. Officers attempted to speak with Omar, but he immediately ran from them. The two officers got out of their vehicle and ran after him. As Omar was running away, one of the officers saw him remove a handgun from his shorts and approach the front door of a residence. Once at the door, Omar fired his handgun as he was trying to enter the home. Not knowing if this residence was occupied with potential victims, one officer fired his duty weapon in an effort to stop Omar. Omar was struck by the gunfire. First shot you hear was fired by Omar, and the last three by the officer.
Hey, can you stop? Talk to us. Hey, hands out your pocket! Hands out your pocket! Hey!
Omar was able to get into the house, so the officers tried to make contact with the residents to make sure they were safe.
Come outside, ma'am! Come outside! Come outside! Over here! Over there!
As officers moved residents out of the house, they saw Omar sitting on the floor. He told officers he had accidentally fired the handgun.
Why were you shooting?
I wasn't shooting, no. Right now when I tried to open the door, it went off.
Yeah, exactly!
That's why it went off.
After the last occupant exited, officers had Omar crawl outside where he was detained.
Let me see your hands! Where's the gun? Do not reach for your pocket. You will be shot.
I know, I don't got no guns, man.
Keep scooting now until I tell you to stop.
That's fine, that's fine. That's fine.
Keep going, come on.
That's fine. I don't got no guns.
Omar was arrested for one count of aggravated assault on a police officer and one count of disorderly conduct for recklessly handling the firearm.
All right, was this a justified use of force? Sergeant Sherrill, he said he accidentally fired the gun when police approached.
Well, that may very well have been an accident, since we understand that he was entering his own residence and he knew that there were family members inside. But we saw him mishandling that weapon in the convenience store, taking the magazine in and out and flashing it so that others could see him chambering around. And so I don't know if he thought this was fun or funny, but you know, when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Lieutenant Colonel, I'm looking at this guy again, in the liquor store with the gun. Some people are a little afraid what he's saying. And then when police approach him, his gun goes off.
Absolutely. This is sort of reminiscent of two landmark Supreme Court cases put together. There's a little bit of both of them in this situation. There's Tennessee v. Garner and Graham versus Connor. Every police officer is quite familiar with those two Supreme Court cases. And so they could argue, not knowing that he was entering his own residence, they could argue that they feared for the safety of the residents that were inside. Whether or not he shot the weapon at them or not, he could have shot that weapon at the door, and those officers still would have been justified under those two landmark Supreme Court decisions.
Sergeant, how about Lieutenant Colonel Adam Lee dropping the Supreme Court on us here? That's pretty good. I'm looking at this situation. You've got all those people inside, and it takes some time to get the other residents out of the house. Explain for us what's going on in the minds of the officers at the scene as you're trying to get the people without the gun out of the house.
Well, they don't know the relationship between the person that just entered and the folks that they're trying to get out. And so they want to be very careful, number one, to not put them in harm's way in terms of this guy who had a gun at some point, don't know exactly where it is right now. And certainly they don't want to have an accidental discharge and then hurt one of these people as they're calling them out. So you can see it's very chaotic. Officers showed great restraint and common sense, good judgment, all of that. And it resolved itself peacefully, thankfully, and no one other than this suspect sustained an injury.
Yeah, he was hurt but not killed, which again is good news as well.